Money matters. Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. You see, how we spend our money is a barometer of how much we value eternal things. Our earthly portfolio may show plenty, while our eternity portfolio reveals poverty. Jesus told about a man who had a bumper crop but a bankrupt soul. He had the wrong aim in life. Do you? Well, this is a selfish approach to life that we read about in Luke chapter 12, verses 16 through 18. Then Jesus told a parable. A rich man's land was very productive. He thought to himself, what should I do since I don't have anywhere to store my crops? I will do this, he said. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones and store all my grain and my goods there. It's very obvious that this man had eye trouble. Now, I'm not talking about this eye. I'm talking about the big capital letter I's. We hear him talking about I, what I will do. What shall I do, he asks. Well, how about stopping your plans and giving praise to God from whom all blessings flow? What about looking at others instead of yourself to find out if you can supply a need rather than serve your greed? Now, let's just be clear at the outset. This is a story not about having possessions, but about possessions having us. Job was a rich man, but also a righteous one. Abraham was one of the wealthiest men of his era, but was so rich in faith. It's not sinful to be successful. It is sinful to be slothful. We can glorify God in our work, on the job, as much as our worship in the church. God may bless us so we can bless others. And we might read this story and think that all investment and retirement plans are evil, yet Scripture extols the industry and intelligence of the ant that plans for the future by working today. The heart of the matter is a matter of the heart. This story was in response to a man who wasn't wealthy but wanted to be. Here's the context in verses 13 through 15. Someone from the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." "Friend," he said to him, "who appointed me a judge or arbitrator over you?" He then told them, "Watch out and be on guard against all greed, because one's life is not in the abundance of his possessions." And Jesus then told the story. Covetousness is a heart problem. The poor may be anxious about what they don't have and want to get it, and the prosperous about what they do have and want to keep it. This is a selfish approach to life. This is also a very sensual approach to life. Let me read verse 19. "Then I'll say to myself, you have many goods stored up for many years. Take it easy. Eat, drink, and enjoy yourself." Now, we live in a physical body that is designed to function in a material world. We do so through 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. These stimuli send messages to our brain, resulting in, at times, in feelings of pleasure and sometimes feelings of pain. The problem comes when we think that the material world and the physical senses are the sum total of life. To feel all the pleasure we can and shun all the pain we can. But we're more than physical forms. We are spiritual beings. When this life is over, we're going to spend eternity somewhere. The question is where? Heaven or hell? But furthermore, in this story, we find that this is a senseless approach to life. Listen at how the story winds up in verses 20 and 21. "But God said to him, 'You fool, this very night your life is demanded of you, and the things you have prepared, whose will they be?' That's how it is with the one who stores up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God." Fool. You hear those words? Now that's God's judgment, not the preacher's. And it's a horrible one. Now, the world's evaluation may differ greatly. They may celebrate and commend people just like this fella. But only God's evaluation matters in the end. Whose will these things be? Egyptian tombs have been found containing fabulous wealth. Per the deceased's instructions, it was buried with them so that they would have it in the afterlife. When the tomb was opened, it was found that they left it all behind. And we all will. Yes, you can be rich toward God. That happens when you invest in the things of eternity. The first riches we need are what Paul called in Ephesians the riches of his grace. If we don't have that, we're fooling ourselves that we're prepared to meet God. The riches of grace experience should move us to share those riches with others. God blesses us to be a blessing. Money matters.